What's up, YouTube? Big Dog here, back again for another edition of Big Dog Movie Reviews. Today we are talking about one that's been getting a lot of talk for Oscars coming up, Parasite. Excuse me. It's a Korean film, 100% subtitled, so it was an interesting watch to say the least. There are spoilers ahead, so if you do plan on seeing Parasite, wait till after you see it to watch this video. But, you know, same format as always. Likes, dislikes, final score, final comments. That's how we do things here. That's how we do it here at Big Dog Movie Reviews. So here we go. Parasite. Likes. Story was nice. It was like refreshing. It was a very different story. It was very refreshing to see something different. Something that definitely hasn't been done before. It was like family was like kept corrupting this lower class Korean family, kept corrupting some upper class family. So they'd each like secretly get hired by this family, and they'd be making a lot more money. It's very interesting to watch. I thought it was a very refreshing story, something new, something I haven't seen before. One of my friends always likes movies that are different, and I feel like he's honestly a little biased towards that. And I always tell him, which I'm not a huge fan of movies that are done differently. I can respect pioneers in certain aspects. Doing something new, I respect it, doesn't mean I have to like it. But this one was different but good. It was done in a very unusual story, very unusually laid out film. But it worked in a sense. I always tell him there's a tried and true film formula, which there is. But here it was a little different, a little twisted around, but it worked in a sense. I thought it worked really well with the film, and I thought it was just a very big breath of fresh air just to see something so different out there. The whole family was on board with this plan instantly. No argument from any family member from getting these people fired, from this driver, this maid, these two tutors. The tutors didn't get fired, but the driver and the maid, no argument from the family whatsoever to get these people fired from them, to get these people fired from this family. And to me, that shows how much they wanted to improve their financial situation. They were willing to have whole new identities, act like they don't even know each other in this house because they don't want the family to know that they do. It just shows a lot to the characters. And especially in the sense they were potentially willing to ruin the driver and maid's lives by getting them fired. It's their source of income. Obviously, income's important. So it's like they got these two people fired and could potentially ruin their lives, so they could for their own gain, which I think speaks a lot to the characters within the film, and how desperate they were. I guess it shows a lot to their motives and their deeper meaning to their character they were playing. There's a certain rock in there that comes into play, like a big rock. It's it comes into play really early in the film. It's a gift from I can't even remember their names. But it's a gift from one of the kids' friends to him. And it's like this rock that's supposed to bring material wealthiness to the family, which I think is a huge foreshadowing to the rest of the film, having watched the whole thing. It's sure to bring some material wealthiness to the poor family in a sense, because they start getting a lot of money. But it's almost like the rock was also cursing the family, causing them to go so crazy and be so desperate and willing to cross so many boundaries in terms of what's acceptable and what's not, just for this stream of financial income. And I really enjoyed the role this rock played, as crazy as that sounds, and I think it held a lot of meaning to the film, because like I said, it was meant to represent a blessing, but especially at the end of the movie, it shows the kid putting the rock in the river. It shows that he also viewed it as a curse in a sense. It's I don't want this. My family was so different after receiving this rock. I don't want it. And I thought that was really interesting to see that rock, the role the rock played, and the way the kid viewed the rock at the end. Then, by bar none, there's a scene where the rich family goes out of town for a few days. So obviously everyone from the poor family's in there chilling in their house. They don't have to hide who they are. But then the rich family comes home early, thus forcing all the other members of the family to like hide throughout the house and keep moving as the night goes on, so they stay out of the field of vision. I thought this whole scene and sequence was amazingly done. It was like at times it was extremely quiet. It was so tense, and I think it added a lot of suspense to this film in a very good way, because the whole film kind of has like an eerie vibe to it. So I think having that suspense element was really intense and really cool, and I think that just worked wonders for the film. The dislikes. So there's like a bunker way underneath the house that you can get to from the basement of the house. And there's the old housemate's husband was living in there because I think he like did some crime or something. Someone wanted him dead, but he's hiding under there because like he. Long story short, I like my friend explained to me that he's the architect or something for the house, so he knew the room was there and no one else. But I thought him living under there was completely unnecessary. It kind of leads to like him being under there is the reason the poor family discovers the bunker in there, and I didn't think that was necessary. I thought they could have just discovered the room on their own, and it could have could have brought the film up a little bit. I thought it was kind of ridiculous how they had some guy living under there. So yeah, would have liked to see the family discovered on their own. And speaking of the guy, explanation of said guy, who he is, and how he got there is murky at best. The only reason I say he's the architect of the house because I was watching it with my friends, and he said they touched on it very lightly there. I mean, he totally understood how I missed it. But I cannot increase a movie score due to someone's explanation of it, especially a friend of mine's explanation of it after the fact. That doesn't increase my liking of the movie at all. And he didn't tell me that till after the fact. So even as I was watching the film, I'm like, who is this guy? How did he get down here? And it's just so murky, and I would have liked some concrete answers onto this guy's story a little bit. Or, like I said, just remove them all together. Get him out of the basement, like I said. I would have liked to see the family discovered on their own. Get him out of there. But, the film's the film. And there was a scene where the rich couple was having sex on the couch. 100% unnecessary for this film. It held no meaning whatsoever. Didn't think it was important in the slightest, which it wasn't. They easily, capital E, capital A, capital S, Lily, not a very good speller, underlined, could have just skipped this section and could have skipped the entire scene. So yeah, that's it for the dislikes, but I do have one comment here. Subtitles. I couldn't put this under the dislikes because it was 100% necessary due to at least for my understanding of the film. In Korea it wouldn't be necessary because they speak Korean there, obviously. But I watched this in America, and I don't speak Korean, so I had no choice but to read the subtitles. It was 100% necessary, most definitely, but me reading subtitles throughout an entire film forces me to take my attention off of what's going on and concentrate way more on the words that are being said, and it forces me to read the words. I don't like this because subtitles are annoying for most people, let's be honest. Excuse me. But also, it takes away from, I'm not able to see the emotion on the actors' faces, excuse me again, as they're delivering these lines. Maybe I'm thinking if it wasn't in English, it would have been, I may have been able to connect with the characters a little bit more, rather than every time I look at them, look down to read subtitles, look up for 2 seconds, look down to read subtitles. And I just would have liked to see a bit more of the emotion from the characters as these lines are being delivered. rather than being forced to read all these subtitles. But I could not put that in the dislikes, because like I said, it was 100% necessary. It's just kind of me stating my view on subtitles and foreign films. I have nothing against foreign films. I've watched a couple of them. But every single time, it's like these subtitles, I feel, detract from my appreciation for the film. But like I said, could not put it in a dislike because it's 100% necessary. But with that being said, that's Parasite. Was still a good film. Very interesting, very intriguing, very different. So I think Parasite, although many people think this is a fantastic film, I didn't think it was anything too special, deserves a 6 out of 10. Not as good as I was led to believe, both from friends and from other film things I watch / read / listen to, things of that nature. It's kind of like a Korean Joker in the sense that the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, it's like a film, obviously, it's like getting at the class structure of America, the rich versus the poor. And this is very much about the same thing, just in a different story, in a very, very different sense. But they're more or less getting to the same point. And I just kind of thought that was an interesting comparison. It's like a Korean Joker, but worse. Joker was better, in my opinion. And I just don't see what everyone else sees. I think it's a good film. I'm glad I watched it. But everyone's saying that's like Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor, which I just don't see. I think it's like a slightly above average film and nothing more. But, so Parasite, 6 out of 10. That's all I got on Parasite. It's a review. It's going in the book. Smash that like button. Do leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of Parasite, if you've seen it. It's kind of a limited release, kind of a hard film to see. I just kind of lucked into it, honestly. But if you have seen it, let me know what you thought. If you thought it was worse, if you thought it was better. I like to know other people's thoughts. And all movies fans should subscribe to this channel. I keep movie reviews flowing. I see a lot of film. I really enjoy seeing a lot of film. So I like to just tell people my thoughts on film. This channel is just me expressing my passion for film to the internet. And as always, if you're looking to get a little more involved with the channel, do follow the corresponding Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd accounts for this channel. The username for all three is at BigDogMR79. I will put that on the screen for you at the end of the video. But that's all I got for today. Review going in the book. I'll see you guys next time for the next review. But until then, change the world. See you later.